It's true. Tesla has just released the new Model Y. I paid $60,000 for mine, and the one they just released, you can pay $48,000 for. And in this video, I'm going to explain why. This reminds me of that dinosaur from Jurassic Park that gets the guy. That one? Remember the one that went? Remember that one? That was my favorite. Ooh, that is nice. So I took delivery literally a month ago on this brand new Model Y Launch Edition. They reduced the price by $12,000 and they now offer a new color. But here's what comes with the Launch Edition and why it's priced at $60,000 and why it's actually $2,000 cheaper than the current one with the same options. Let me show you. All right, so the first thing we need to discuss about why Tesla did a launch series, and it's actually smart, it's actually way better than what other manufacturers do. For example, Civic. When Honda released the Civic Type R, this is still maybe happening. Dealerships would mark the car up $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000, maybe $5,000 to earn extra margin on these highly sought after vehicles. So when this car launched, the Model Y, it was going to be highly sought after, tons of people wanted it. So what they did is they included full self-driving. They gave you free paint upgrades, so this paint's $2,000. I got it for free in the $60,000. The wheels are $2,000. Again, got those for free as included. And then you could choose what interior and color you wanted, so I went with the black interior. They also did some special badging. They gave you the acceleration boost, which takes the 0 to 60 from 4.6 seconds to 4.1 seconds. That's $2,000. And they gave you full self-driving, which is $8,000. Now, me personally, I would never pay for full self-driving. I say that, and then I paid for full self-driving. And you also get this Launch Series badge, and then the startup screens when you get in the vehicle are different. So here's what the startup screen looks like. And that is specific to the Launch Series. Also, if you want this sunshade, it's from Vion.parts. They've been partnered with the channel for years now. And they are excellent. So they're a very small company, but they make really quality Tesla parts, and code Gjeebs will save you 10%. So now that the Launch Series is gone, you can get a Model Y long range without the acceleration boost for $48,990, and that price is the same as the outgoing Model Y. So the car is built way better than it used to be built, much quieter, excellent suspension, better cameras, the processors are fast, everything about this thing is excellent. The roof doesn't let that much heat come through. The new Model Y is a 10, and it costs $48,000 as a starting price. Now you may be wondering to yourself, what about like a BMW X3? The BMW X3 also starts at $48,000, but it accelerates 6 seconds to 60, it gets 33 miles per gallon. It's a very good package. The suspension, the quietness of the cabin is probably about the same in that, but with that comes more maintenance, not as good performance, not as good handling because the engine sits up higher. Still an excellent vehicle, but just more expensive to run, and it won't drive as good. Say what you want about electric vehicles, but the drivetrain in these things are excellent. The throttle response, everything about that, plus they're cheap to insure. This cost me, I think, right around $100. My insurance agent from State Farm, she said this cost me $86 or $88 a month, which is nothing, and that's full coverage, glass, all that type of stuff. But I also have a house on my insurance policy and 3 other cars, so it's probably lower because of those rates that I'm getting. Now, this color is called Quicksilver. It costs $2,000, but the new color that they released is called Diamond Black, and it's black with some sparkles in it, or sprinkles, or whatever you want to call them. And I really love the Quicksilver color. I've never owned a silver car, so I was excited to check that off the list. But overall, the build quality of this is excellent, and I just love that what Tesla did as far as making a Launch Series actually have value to it, whereas other manufacturers will just simply upcharge you and add no value to the vehicle, and that is immediately wiped away if you were to go and sell it. So I actually think this is a great thing. We all knew that this was coming. The Launch Series wasn't going to last forever. I am surprised at how quickly they went to the long-range model. Now, There also may be a rear-wheel drive model. They're definitely making a performance Model Y. That's going to be incredible with an adaptive suspension. It's going to be even faster than the previous version, but the range is going to be around 280 or 270 miles. I just did an insane range test on this thing. You guys are not going to believe how far I was able to drive it in the real world. So that has all been good. You also get Launch Series written here, and it also has Launch Series written right there, so that's nice. And I'm pretty sure this Alcantara up here is specific to the Launch Series, as well as along these door cards here, which is really nice. So there are some nice things that come specifically on the Launch Series. You also get the mobile charger. Made the black badging, did that at Dynamic Tint in Tempe. And then down under here, the Launch Series come with the mobile charger. So yeah, you get some benefits with it. Is it going to make a difference in value down the road? Depends how good full self-driving gets and how many of these they actually sold. If they didn't sell that many, then it will be worth a little more in the future. But $48,000 for a Model Y is crazy to me. It's not cheap. I'm not saying it's a cheap car, but when you factor everything in, and I talk about performance a lot, but when you factor in the performance of it, you talk about the efficiency of it, heated cooled seats standard on the Model Y, insane sound system, the build quality is good, the cabin quietness is now on par with a BMW, the suspension is now on par with a BMW, Mercedes, Audi. These are all the things that in the past were an issue. Now it's not an issue. Also, because we have the sunshade up, you can actually see the ambient light bar. On the Model 3, there were issues with them lining up over there, but now it all aligns perfectly. So I'm happy that they reduced the price of it because it's a great car. It's not $60,000 great. Maybe for the performance model, it could be close to that. But ultimately, for a daily driver, this thing is excellent, not just because it's an electric car, because it's a great car. It's very safe. I just can't say enough about it. And if you're charging at home, it's almost nothing to run. You change your air filters, you rotate your tires, and this weighs about 4,400 pounds. The Porsche Macan weighs 4,400 pounds. So it's right in line in terms of weight with comparable vehicles. Maybe not a Toyota. Toyota's probably less weight. They're not as safe as these, but I just can't say enough about the quality of the build, and then the technology that is packed into here is far, far beyond any other vehicle that's out there. And I know not a lot of people care about full self-driving. Kind of the best use case that I see for it, and it can do about 90 to 95% of the driving. Like, it's impressive, and I don't care about it. But with that said, there's no other vehicle out there that even has anything close to that feature, because I can do it on anything that looks like a road. My Rivian, for example, love my Rivian. Its Driver Plus feature only works on roads that are mapped out. So I can't just put it on a B street and tap it and it works. It works on like the I-10, 95, things like that. This works on any road. And it's just really impressive. And it's really useful. Like, for example, you tap it and you engage it. You need to reach into the back seat for a kid or whatever. It's driving itself, and you can't do that on a lot of other vehicles while it's monitoring actually what's going on. So I'm happy they lowered the cost. They kept basically all the features that this has at just a better price while bringing in a new color. A new color. It's black. Tesla needs to get better with their colors. They need to offer more colors. But they keep these things simple, like white interior, black interior, and they keep limited options because it's easier for them to stamp these out and be more profitable on them. So if you want a BMW or Mercedes, you can do a lot more customization, but it's going to cost you a lot more. And I think over the long term, you'd be happier with this simply because of the low running costs, and you get the software updates over time that keep adding new features or taking away features that people weren't using. I just think it's an excellent platform. And I'm also not someone that's like, I know I make videos on electric vehicles a lot, but I would own a BMW M3. I miss driving a manual transmission. I miss all that stuff. And I'll probably we'll talk about this in a future video, but I would get like an STI or an M3 or something to get that visceral feeling back. So just to explain, like, I'm not, my wife is not online or virtual, right? My wife is real. So like, I'm not that hooked into it. I love them, but I also can appreciate gas cars and that feeling. And this is just, for a daily driver, I don't know why you would look that way. Now, if you want to see what changed from this model to the old model, click this video right here. I go through all the differences, and I even do a sound test showing the difference in the cabin.